Hello friends, this is Casey and Reynolds in Nashville, Tennessee, health and longevity coach. So I've had a couple big changes in my life and I'm gonna make a YouTube video about it, so please follow along. And if you're loving the content, if you're new to my channel, I'm doing videos about how to change your life, lose belly fat, look younger than you are. I'm actually going to be 57 this year, the same age as the Super Bowl. I was born in 1966. And if these are things you're interested in, please hit subscribe. And my cat Yuki, he still is struggling with his asthma, so anything that you do helps get me monetized and helps buy those inhalers, which they're very expensive. It's like $100 a piece. All right, so up until May 26th, 2023, I had been a school teacher. I'm going to give some background information, and this video is going to be chopped up into some shorts, so you won't hear all the background information. But if you watch the shorts, come subscribe and listen to the background information. So I need to preface everything I'm saying with a lot of background information. So first off, I've only taught in the state of Tennessee. I did 2 years in Georgia, so I'm going to preface that. Secondly, I've taught in a plethora of schools. It wasn't always my fault. It wasn't like I got fired for being a bad teacher. It was situations back when there was a teacher surplus that I'd get moved from school to school. And so I kind of transitioned out of a divorce into a special ed classroom and then to a remedial algebra classroom. So I can honestly and truly say, not many people can say that in the state of Tennessee, that I have taught every subject K through 12 and every environment, from the richest school in the country into probably one of the most impoverished schools. So I definitely have a really amazing background of having taught at a lot of many different schools with many different admin in the state of Tennessee. So we're gonna preface that. So one thing I've noticed, and if you're a teacher, you can definitely say hell yeah on that one, is that teaching has become toxic. It didn't start out that way. So like I'm going kind of like the first 2 years, my records got smashed in a tornado, and so they can't get hold of them. It happened in Ringgold, Georgia. That was back before they were electronic. So it's 22 years, but it's like so incredibly toxic right now. And if you've been teaching longer than 10 or 15 years, you know what I'm talking about. So crazy story. I was at the gym, Gold's Gym, and I was a bodybuilder, and I'm like, hey, I saw a sign out for a hospitality fair on April 4th. So yes, I called in sick. I feel really bad and guilty about that because it's not something I typically do. Went to the hospitality fair and was just like overwhelmed. I got 5 job offers that day. Took my first job offer because I wanted something low key, like not too much, because I knew I hadn't done it in a hot minute. Although I had been in the hospitality industry from the ages of 13, 22, so I kind of had some muscle memory how to do it. So started working 2 full-time jobs April 10th, and then transitioned into a little bit more higher end job in the hospitality industry. But really and truly, I am just a waitress. In my day, we called it a waitress. That's what I view myself. I don't really get the whole server term. Not me, waitress. So I'm going to give you the top 10 reasons, and society should look at this and go, really? That is so sad. Why it's better in America in 2023 to be a waitress than to be a teacher. And society, if you don't wake up and recognize that the canary in the coal mine, which is what miners would bring a canary with them, and when the canary died, it meant the fumes were toxic and you had to leave. We are that canary. Friends, society's not doing well, in case you haven't noticed. And so teachers are like, bang, we're out of here. We cannot stand this one more minute. And you have teachers going to work for Walmart, for Costco, as a waitress like me, and enjoying life. and are saying it just can't go on like this one more hot second. So top 10 reasons. Top 10 reasons. So number one, we're gonna get down to dollar signs, money. Okay, friends, again, in society, what should be more valued, a teacher or a waitress? And I love waitressing, it's so much fun. But I am making like a 50% increase as a waitress. And again, I am in Nashville. So of course, we make a ton of money in Nashville. And I'm not saying that's going to be true. And I'm a hard worker. That will not be true in every single place in the country or in the world, but that should never be the case. Teachers should be highly valued. I would say your average teacher needs at least a 50% pay increase because we are always asked to do so much unpaid work. So that's number one, money. Yeah, 50% pay increase. And I don't have to work if I'm not getting paid. Pay. Number two, safety. This could be a whole video and we will not make it into a whole video. And I could tell you the horror stories of what I've had to experience, working in Tennessee and particularly in the metro Nashville area. But loaded guns, razor blades, kids biting you. I mean, it's so unsafe to be a teacher. If you have a loved one who is a teacher, they're constantly in risk of their health and constantly in risk of somebody oh, my kid has ADHD. So sorry, my kid shot you in the stomach. Or recently in Antioch, Tennessee, a teacher tried to take a cell phone of a student that was constantly on her cell phone and she sprayed him in the face with mace. Yes, teacher safety, it doesn't exist. That's why you should not be a teacher. And if you are a teacher, you need to seriously consider getting out because your safety is constantly at risk. Number three, sleep. Weird thing, I am currently working 4 days and I work sometimes till midnight, sometimes till 1, sometimes till 2 in the morning. But my sleep has improved tremendously. Okay, so we're gonna ask why. So as a teacher, if you're not a teacher, you wouldn't really understand this. And when you say those words to fellow teachers, I just let us back your face. Oh, must be nice to have your summers off. No, it's not nice to have my summers off because the rest of the 11 and a half months that I have to work, I only have about 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer, is to decompress and not jump off a bridge, is I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So my sleep schedule is always thrown off because I think most people do this pretty natural. Your body temperature starts to increase about say 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. But as teachers, you got to be up at 4 for me to get all the emails, answer everything, grade papers, write IEPs, all the things that need to be done. So it's constantly sleep deprived. Oh my gosh, it's like never ever getting enough sleep. Even though I'm working nights now, it's like at least I can sleep in. Sleep, amazing. Alrighty, and number 4, we can definitely relate to this if you're a teacher. Sanity. I work in a very high-end place in the Nashville area, and it can be stressful. Yet my heart will race, it's stressful, right? But not teacher stressful. I mean, teacher stressful is just like your judgment is constantly being called into play. Like you are constantly be calling things like, you hate boys, you're a racist, you're a horrible human being, you are the worst example of humanity I've ever seen on planet Earth. That's the things that teachers get called on a regular basis by parents, students, admin, school board. It doesn't really matter. It's just this constant barrage of negativity that you're constantly being thrown at these labels. And you're like, I didn't know I hated boys. I actually gave birth to 3 of them. How do I hate boys? And number 5. This is my favorite part of the day. Bang. It's facial recognition nowadays, but a punch in, punch out. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna make upcoming videos about why it's good to have a boring job. You're just like, as a teacher, you are freaking always on call. Like, there's no punch in, punch out. You're on call 24/7. Oh, you get your summers off. No, I don't get my summers off. I still have parents complaining, even during the middle of the summer. They're pre-complaining about what they thought was going to be a big issue. Right, like we have no control over the big issues, right? We don't have control over this. I am done when I punch out. Yes. Bang, done when I punch out. And that's so nice. I don't have to like worry about this email. Number 6. I was just actually at Sam's Club today. And typically for me in Tennessee, we do go back to school rather early. This is when I have to do the bribery. Oh yes, teacher friends, since we can't actually discipline our poor, sweet, innocent babies that might be trying to kill other people on a regular basis, we have to bribe them not to kill other students or to get some work done. Yes. And I honestly refuse to buy any kids' Takis. We can see the picture of Takis. I hate Takis. I think that red dye actually can kill you. I will not buy them, but I'd buy Dum-Dums and candy. I would like wait till after a major holiday and stock up on candy. And still the kids are like, but we want Takis like the other teachers give us Takis. Those freaking Takis are like $1 a bag. There is no, oh, Takis are cheap today because it's after Halloween, right? Kids only respond to bribery, which means you have to spend a ton of your own money. Like I'd give a ticket system, a token system. I use Dum-Dums and I would try to be very logistic. I did a hot chocolate bar. So I had to buy everything for the hot chocolate bar. I did gingerbread houses. I do all the sort of stuff that I thought was relatively inexpensive, but still every week I'd say it easily add up to about $20 a week. Easily, not to mention, oh, you want a chair to sit on? Bang, buy your chair. You want a stapler? Buy your stapler. You don't get anything. They give you $200, which barely covers anything. You have to buy everything when you're a teacher. So that was a nice thing. In fact, I would started at a bar and I bought some cigar cutters because I'm like, well, I'm used to buying everything as a teacher, you buy everything. They're like, no, there's a drawer full of them. You don't have to buy your own stuff. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Okay. If you're my friend on Facebook, this does not apply to you, but I actually get to call my boss by their first name. And the weirdest thing is like, I now have nice bosses. Number 7, like I can walk through the building and say, hi, hello. They call me by my first name. I love it. And so that Miss Reynolds, they could say it in a way that felt very demeaning. And I can call them by their first name, and there's not this hierarchy. You don't live in dread. If you're a school teacher, you will know what I'm talking about. Live in dread of the sound of that sound of high heels heading towards your classroom. And the lock. Bang. Door opens. And there's 5 people from central office. And they're just watching you. And it just happens to be the first day after break. And 3 of your kids got like abused over break and not on their ADHD medication. And they're just raising Cain in the classroom. And here's central office to watch you. And then they give you a little productive feedback right afterwards. Like, what would you have done different? Oh my God, I don't know. Maybe not had my kids abused over a holiday weekend. That might have been a little different, but they never listened to that. One time I was running 103 fever and I said, well, maybe I wouldn't have come to work sick. I think that was really a poor idea because I'm like, have 103 fever and I think I actually have flu. This is before pandemic. And I said, no, not a good excuse. So you all know that feeling of central office. Number 8. No IEP meetings. No meetings and no PD. Enough said. Hate PD. It's just waste of time. Like I spent so much time like just as a teacher, like you've got to do like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 100 hours. You're always on the computer trying to click, 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 watching a video as you're doing your laundry, watching a video as you're trying to do this, that, and the other thing. I think for people, and nothing against Jason Foundation, if you have to do the suicide prevention stuff, I had to do it 20 years in a row, but if you've ever had anybody in your family that's committed suicide, I do feel like that is very toxic to have to watch that year in and year out. It can definitely be post-traumatic stress, and I hated that video for that reason. All right, so we're on to number 9. No paperwork. Oh my God, like you just go in to your job, no paperwork. You don't have to justify every single reason. Oh, I had a void for that customer because they ordered hummus and decided they didn't want hummus. There isn't an hour's worth of paperwork to do if something goes awry. And that's just utterly amazing because we know as teachers, that's all we do is paperwork. I love being physically active. Now I'm like all the time physically active, not bent over a desk doing paperwork. Number 10, and this may make people the most sad. Everyone always says, thank you, Casey. Everyone is so sweet beyond belief. My customers, yeah, I mean, there's been like a few, 1 or 2 that have been a little cranky poo, but like I've had the most amazing bosses, coworkers, customers. I mean, people give me like really insane tips, which really helps me like have a nice life again, be able to buy like a roasted chicken at Sam's Club, get my cat his inhaler, maybe go on a vacation once, which I haven't been on vacation in like years and years. So I appreciate them so incredibly much. But like, I actually feel appreciated. This isn't like, oh, it's Teacher Appreciation Day and here's your stale muffin, here's your like, you know, nasty piece of candy that we're going to give you to show you teacher appreciation once a year. I feel appreciated as a waitress. I never felt that as a teacher. I always felt like we were the scourge of society, that we were just waiting for something bad to happen to us. And so once a year, somebody would give you a gift certificate for Walmart. I actually never got one, for $10. And you're just like, okay, or still don't it. And for $1 tip, and you can share it with your team. It's amazing to be able to share that love. Oh my gosh, it's like the most amazing, beautiful feeling. And I never actually ever got that as a teacher. Oh, so if you have any comments, if you've experienced any of these top 10 reasons why you are leaving the teaching profession, please comment below. Please give me your stories, because we know in the South, we're heading back pretty early, but like right now in Tennessee, we're heading back like right now, but I know up north, you have a couple weeks, and I no longer have that stress. It is so amazing, it's so awesome. So love to help y'all, and keep watching. There'll be more videos upcoming, and